up, Woodward? We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
What up, dope people? Good morning. This is Wake Up Woodward. My name is Matt Broder. I am your co-host for the day with Sam Flannel. Flannel Sam, actually. Did I just flip-flop it?
It's all right.
Flannel Sam.
I go by both. Actually, I would prefer in a perfect world to be Flannel Sam, but I was called Sam Flannel a couple of times and it's kind of stuck on. So whatever you want to call me, it's all good. And I'll tell you what.
Tell them.
As much as I enjoy remotes, as much as I enjoy being at a place like the Detroit Golf Club, a place that I would never get into under any other circumstance other than being at Woodward Sports, it's just nice to be in the studio. Nice and comfortable, and it reminds me of the great Schoolboy Q song that I have.
Schoolboy.
Which is?
Schoolboy Q.
Studio.
Oh, Studio is the
Yeah,
song.
Studio's the song.
In
Yeah.
the studio,
Trying to get to you, babe.
That's my jam, man. All right, Sam.
Ooh,
Yes, hell yeah, please don't.
I believe Kool-Aid's in
Oh,
Vegas,
no.
and we just got more hood up on the desk. How is this possible? How is this possible? By the way, shout out to Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid. He's out in Las Vegas covering the Pistons Summer League. And we're going to join. He's going to join us at 9:15 via video. Give us a little scoop, the inside scoop on the Summer League for the Pistons. We got KG in the sound booth. KG, what up, doe?
What up, though, man? How y'all feeling?
I'm well. I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
I'm
It's
excited
gonna be
for
a
the
good
show.
day.
We got a lot to talk about. We are home, too. Like you said, we're in studio. I just feel better about home. Except I got to get used to this seat. How about right?
Yeah.
There. Juices in the Maz chair. Morning, buddy.
I'm fired up. What's up, brother? How we doing today?
We've been waiting for that. We've been picking up the energy for Mr. Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Someone's got to do it. Shout out to Kool-Aid. He's having a great time, and Summer League. I'm excited to talk to him in a little while.
Yes,
so.
sir. Yes, sir. I'm excited to hear your initial reaction on EA Sports College Football 25, which we're going to get to. But in the TD booth, the man, not the myth, but a legend in the making, JB Smooth. What up, doe?
Jay Busy.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
You having a good morning, man?
I am. I'm having a very good morning, and I actually have a message for Flannel over here because a chat member messaged me the other day and wanted me to let him know that this is waiting for him at the end of the Lions season.
Oh, boy.
Shout out to Dustin.
Hey.
Shout out
love
to
it.
Dustin. Yep, this is waiting for you, Flannel, so just so you know,
Hey.
it's ready for you.
I don't want anybody to forget because I want to be known as somebody who pays my debts and is true to my word. I did say if Jamison Williams has 1,000 yards receiving, no matter how he gets them, no matter if it's in losing efforts, winning efforts, which we assume with the Lions season will be a good one, I will wear a Jamison Williams jersey on air. 100%. Just to prove to all of you that he can change the hearts and minds of even old Flannel Sam when it comes to Jamison Williams.
You heard it here first. Chat members, July 16th, 8:04 p.m. This is Wake Up Woodward show. Mark that down in your little notebooks, in your iPhone notes, saying Flannel.
That's okay.
Flannel
Whatever you-
Sam. I
don't even think anything of it anymore, dude. You
Right?
can call me whatever
no,
you
I
want.
know. I only when I say it to you is when I realize it, because I think I call you Sam.
Hey, I thought it was.
Did it again.
I thought it was Anno Sam from
Ah.
yesterday. Anno Sam, boy.
You might be seeing a second flannel up on the desk tomorrow. We were having just some pre-show wardrobe discussions, and
Yeah.
I think I might need to bust it out. I'm going to drive the show today. He's
Pause.
driving tomorrow. We got some great. Wait, what did I say?
You think you finna bust it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, bust out the flannel from the wardrobe. You perv.
Okay, all right.
Right.
Kids these days. Not that you're a kid. Hey, flannel.
Yes.
We got a big show today.
Yeah, we do.
Do you want to tell them what we're talking about?
Oh, absolutely. We've got a certain Tigers player who may have been snubbed for some All-Star game.
May have.
May have. Well, we can't tell them who it is just yet. We're going to talk about the Lions training camp, some storylines that we should be looking forward to. We're going to do a front office flannel all-star break edition. I am so excited to bring that to you. Should the Tigers buy? Should the Tigers sell? Should they do both? We shall see when we get to it. We're going to, of course, be joined by our brother and our partner in crime, Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, who is in Vegas for the Summer League. We're going to be giving out some grades for the Pistons. It is an absolutely packed show, but you want to start off with one Tarek Skubal.
Yes. We all learned yesterday. It happened after our show. Tarek Skubal will not be named, or will not be starting the All-Star game for the American League. Corbin Burns, Baltimore Orioles starting pitcher, having a fantastic year. He was named the starting pitcher for the AL. So not our boy, number 29, Tarek Skubal, who's having a sensational year. And I'm just going to throw the very basic question out, Flannel. Was he snubbed?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
And
tell me the emotions you went through yesterday. You learned about it.
Yeah. So I learned about it with about 10 minutes left on a Big D Energy. And when I first heard it, I was kind of like, okay, Corbin Burns, he's obviously a phenomenal pitcher. He won a Cy Young in 2021 with the Milwaukee Brewers. He's having a great year. He might be the missing piece of what gets Baltimore to win the World Series, honestly, especially considering some of the pitching turnover that they've had and some injuries. That's all well and good. Corbin Burns is a great pitcher. However, when it comes to pitching, when it comes to whether or not a team winning should play any role in it, pitchers only affect the game like every 1 out of every 5 games. And when it comes to numbers, there's nothing that Corbin Burns beats Tarek Skubal in whatsoever, at least of significance. Tarek Skubal has a lower ERA, more strikeouts, a lower whip, fewer walks, and a higher pitching WAR. And when it comes to whip and WAR, if there's a tiebreaker, let's just say, and there shouldn't even be a tiebreaker, but if there's a tiebreaker and the one who has the whip under 1 should get in over the guy, or should start over the guy who has a whip over 1.
Facts.
Tarek Skubal has a whip under 0.9.
It's ridiculous.
Corbin Burns has a whip over 1, and 1's not terrible, but 0.9 is absolutely amazing. And when it comes to pitching WAR, Tarek Skubal's 4.5 and Corbin Burns is 2.9. That's a 1.6 difference on guys who only affect 1 out of every 5 games.
Yeah. And nowadays, it's 5, maybe 6 innings every 5 days.
Yes.
Like, this isn't back in the day with CC Sabathia and the horses that would throw complete games, every 4 or 5 outings. This is now the starters are only required to pitch 5.
Yes.
So when we're talking about value to the team, and Chase Amley brings up a good point in the chat, and I want to see what you think. He says, Skubal's having a better year than Burns, but team wins do matter. Go ask Reese Olson. Burns' numbers aren't that much worse than Skubal. You're right, they aren't that much worse, but they're all worse, including the wins.
Yeah.
But not the team wins. So I'm almost turning this around because the Orioles have a better team. Shouldn't Corbin Burns have more wins?
Well, in theory, yes. But I'm not even going to penalize Corbin Burns for that because things happen all the time. Like, sometimes you don't get run support. Maybe when another pitcher is on the mound, Gunnar Henderson decides to go off that day. And when Corbin Burns is on the mound, he decides to go 0 for 4. We never know what happens. The thing that I don't like about that statement, Chase Emily, because, again, this is something that the wheels kind of were turning in my head yesterday. Being the ace for the best team or one of the best teams in the American League, in theory, it should get you over the top over an ace on a team that probably won't make the playoffs. I understand it. But the way that he framed this with Skubal having a better year, but team wins do matter, go ask Reese Olson. My point is that it is not Reese Olson's fault in any way, shape, or form. In any way, shape, or form.
Zero.
And when it comes to starting the All-Star game, I don't think team wins should matter. And I don't like the premise of this. And I don't think you're saying this, Chase, but I don't want Reese Olson and team wins mentioned in the same sentence unless you're saying the Tigers as an organization should be jailed for their record and Reese Olson starts. For the record in July, it's better. But the Tigers are still 5-13 and Reese Olson starts.
True.
Hearing that right now makes me bad. If they miss the playoffs, you're going to remember that. And it's unfortunate.
True.
Hey.
True. Now, so he's not starting. Skubal pitched on Friday.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this out to the fellas here. Should he even pitch in the game? Whether you want to call it a Detroit versus everybody mutiny or all right, he's not going to start the game. He's our most important pitcher for sure. Some argue he's the first half MVP, him or Riley Green. do you not pitch? Like it's his first time, so I'm sure he wants to, but I don't know. What do you think about him just saying, all right, like, I'm going to come hang out but not pitch?
You pitch.
You do it?
Yes, you 100%.
Because it's his first time, or just because it's the honor of going there, you just do it?
It's the honor of going to the All-Star game.
Fair.
I mean, think of...
Because it's his first time.
So a little bit of both.
Really? So if this wasn't his first time, you would say just don't pitch?
Yeah, because... And shout out to Randall Smalls. We agree on a lot of things. We don't agree on this. He was saying that it's because of his age and that Corbin Burns has paid his dues. Well, then what about Skeens?
Okay, thank you.
Skeens gets to start for the NL, and he has no All-Star games as well. Like, I just can't get behind this. And, yeah. And if
I
it
don't
wasn't his
mind
first
him.
time...
I don't mind him starting the All-Star game for the NL.
No, neither do I.
The dude's electric, even though he doesn't have the stats to qualify to be among the major league leaders yet. But he deserves to start. Like, the dude is electric, whether it's deserving from a statistical standpoint or because there will be eyes on, like, it's a marketing thing. With that, that's why I would start Skubal also.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't seem like the criteria is the same, and I get it, the manager chooses and the different managers manage in different ways. But, like, at some point, we have to sit here and be like, all right, what the hell? Like, why is Skubal starting?
Right.
No.
And it is what it is. I mean, it's nothing against Corbin Burns, because the fact that he's even close to Tarek Skubal means he's having a sensational year. But to me, an All-Star game, we're not talking MVP. We're not talking like, you know, the awards that have a story behind them. The Coach of the Year, like Dan Campbell coming back from a 3-win team. Like, an All-Star game is just the best players at the position at that point in the season.
Yeah, and right now, it's not just the numbers, because we all know Paul Skeens. My point with this is that Paul Skeens and Tarek Skubal, when you look at their numbers, when you watch them pitch, we can all see that it's very clear that the two best pitchers who currently walk planet Earth and are healthy are Paul Skeens and Tarek Skubal. Even in the National League, you could make a numbers argument for a Reynaldo Lopez for the Braves, but at the same time, it's like, no, nobody actually thinks that Reynaldo Lopez is in the same stratosphere as Paul Skeens. It's not like that with Corbin Burns and Tarek Skubal, because it's close. Corbin Burns is electric, and he's been a Cy Young winner before. But it would be the same thing for somebody like Tarek Skubal versus Seth Lugo. Everybody knows that Seth Lugo's been great this year, but Tarek Skubal, just even for watchability, Paul Skeens against Tarek Skubal, are you kidding me? I mean, we've talked about this. We thought that's what we were going to get. But unfortunately, it will not be. But to circle back to the original question, yes, Tarek Skubal should absolutely pitch. I'm a big fan of the history of the game. When you look back at all other All-Star games and all of the legends who were able to pitch and all the legends who were able to hit and play the field and all of that, you need to, if you're healthy enough, you need to receive that honor and enjoy that honor of playing amongst the best in the game today.
Yes, there's just some historic moments that come out of the All-Star game. I remember watching Pedro Martinez pitch. Like, that to me was the pinnacle of my baseball love, the Pedro days. But real quick, we got about a minute and a half.
Can I touch on that real quick, though?
How about this? You choose. You want to talk about that, or you want to review your first couple hours of EA Sports College Football 25? I got you.
I do.
You got about 90 seconds.
I'm surprised you made it here. All right, I got you, because I know JB tuned in the stream last night. Shout out. KG's probably irking to hear. So, all right, it lives up to the hype. Not a Madden reskin. It is an arcade-style football game. You can tell it feels like the college game. The best players in the game, you can tell they are the best players in the game. Anybody who has a superstar ability or an X-Factor ability is the best player in the field. I had an 85 overall running back, and he is disgusting. You can tell he moves better. He cuts quicker, and it's just awesome. It's so detailed. They went really in-depth with the details. I think, and I'm not trying to be biased because it hasn't been the game for so long, but like genuinely, it is just ridiculously fun to play, and it's super hard too. Like, I play on Heisman, which is the hardest difficulty, and it's way harder than all Madden. Like, I was genuinely struggling, like, playing against a team of the same overall. Like, I had 5 interceptions when I was playing Arizona State, and I was Georgia Tech, and they're both 81 overall. So it gets brutal out there. So I recommend, if you haven't played a Madden or a college football game, don't start on Heisman. You will just rage stand in your basement and put your hands on your head like this when you don't convert a 4th and 1 on a QB sneak. But
I love it. Keep us updated throughout the week. I know you're going to be playing
I will.
You're going to be logging several hours, so I want to get the updates.
Can I just say something real quick?
Of course.
I have seen people already break stuff within 24 hours of this game being released. Some people have like literally lost their shit.
I saw
already.
PlayStation in a bathtub.
Yep, that's happened.
Yep, it's getting real out there on the
It's
streets.
a skill gap, man.
It is. So when we come back, we're going to start previewing the Lions training camp. We're actually going to talk about some of the younger players who are going to be out on the field in Allen Park. So we're going to go Lions for a couple segments, then get into front office flannel after that before we start talking some basketball in the second hour. Flannel, can you tell them about Planet Fitness, please?
Absolutely. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you
Providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on the screen above my head right there or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they got your back.
Nick, I'm personally devastated. I came all this way from Los Angeles, 4-hour flight, crunched like a cricket in the back of a seat just to see you, and you weren't here. Like I don't want to talk about it.
You're messing up, Nick.
Nick was messing
What up,
up, man.
people? We are back. This is Wake Up Woodward. My name is Matt Broder. Sitting next to me, my co-host for the day, Sam Flannel. Flannel Sam. The man, the myth,
And
the
Sam.
legend. Sam.
He'll get
What
it
up, baby?
eventually.
What up?
What do you think of a little nod to Nick? Detroit Mario in the booth.
Oh man, I'm sure somewhere Nick Koloff, who is a good friend of mine and a valued member of Woodward Sports, does a great job on Woodward Heavyweights. Has gotten some desk time recently, by the way.
love Nick.
So I'll go check those out. Former brethren of yours on Woodward Nights,
in the building.
R.I.P.
Hey, same with KG, but yeah, he was probably punching air big time right there because Kay Adams. She wasn't there to interview Calvin Johnson and Randy Moss. She was there for you, bud, and you missed it. You missed it. And I know what it's like to fumble bags like that. I understand, and it blows. You're going to be hurting for a long time. If you need someone to talk to about it, give me a call, though, bro.
Hey.
I'll get you through it.
KG didn't fumble the bag.
KG did not fumble the bag.
Yes, she actually called me hot, so I'm taking that to the bank.
Do you have that picture?
I do.
Send that to JB so we can put it up at some time in the show. It was a great
Absolutely.
picture. Also, when you put it next to the picture, I think you took of Easy and Calvin. Was that on purpose?
Oh, no.
That was not on purpose. Can you send
man.
him that too?
I got you.
Okay,
man.
send him that because I think, was it Speakeasy talking about it on Heavyweights?
Yeah, man.
Bro.
Yeah, man.
I guess I can't really.
swear when I took it, both faces were in the picture. I don't know what happened after that or like in between him getting the picture. I don't know, man.
Wild.
I don't know.
Wild. So send it over. We'll get it. It was an awesome day at the Detroit Golf Club. So many celebrities. Yeah, like Hall of Famers, pro football players all over the place. Torrey Holt, like when Randy Moss is the first interview of the day.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey,
like go.
Only person to meet Randy Moss sitting right here.
Good
You
for
lucky
you.
bastard.
Good
You
for
lucky.
you.
Randy Moss, Darren McFadden. Shout out him, one of the nicest
I
guys
didn't
I've
see
ever
Darren
met.
McFadden.
What?
Yeah, Darren McFadden was out there.
I didn't even see him.
He was so
Bama.
cool.
He's Bama boy,
And then
right?
and then Justin
Arkansas.
Reed. Justin Reed as well, Kansas City Chiefs safety, was so nice. Both of them were awesome. And
did you remind Justin Reed of the hit that rookie Jahmyr Gibbs laid on him in week 1 of last year?
He was teaching me about his golf swing. That dude can swing. He was striping the ball like 330. I was in awe watching him on the tee box.
Do you remember the hit play I'm talking about? This, to me, is when Gibbs arrived. It was one of his first runs. It was like a 20-yard run to the left side of the field. And this comes on the backs of, like, remembering DeAndre Swift on Hard Knocks and Deuce Staley. Like, bro, don't just run out of bounds. Like, lower your shoulder and gain an extra yard. That's exactly what Jahmyr Gibbs. He said, I'm welcoming myself to the NFL, Mr. Reed.
Yeah, we were all watching it here for the watch party. That was one where we're like, okay, Gibbs. Okay. Like,
he's not a little man.
He's maybe got some power to his game, and it foreshadowed some things. It foreshadowed that he's better at running between the tackles than maybe we all realized he would be.
That is factual. That is factual. We're actually going to be talking about Gibbs a little more in the second part of this Lions segment when we hit on the offense. But Flannel.
Yes.
This Lions defense, and as we go into training camp, by the way, it starts on Saturday. So we're about 5 full days until training camp 2024 opens up. The rookies report on Saturday. The vets report on Tuesday, the 23rd. But the first and the second year players on this defense, I think, are going to play a huge role. Like, there are core pieces to the now and the future within this group of first and second year players, rookies and second year players. Flynn, I want to ask you, who are some of your favorites, or how important is this group for the Lions? Not only the Lions defense to reach its peak, reach its pinnacle, but also for this team to go on a Super Bowl run.
It's incredibly important. We all know that last year, the secondary, and I know that they weren't helped out a ton by some of the lack of pass rush other than Aiden Hutchinson, but the secondary struggled. There's a reason. I mean, there's a reason why the Lions and Brad Holmes, they decided to double up at corner. And I'm not sure if it's the only reason, but it's just to make sure that you got somebody who works. And whether or not a guy like Terrion Arnold is successful this season or successful long-term, it could reshape everything in the defense. Everything. Because if we're looking at this season coming up, I personally don't expect Terrion Arnold to start week 1, but I think he will as the season progresses because he's obviously got all the talent in the world. I just think there's some technical things that he's probably going to have to clean up. If you're looking at Terrion Arnold being out there and being successful, you put him opposite Carlton Davis, maybe you could move a Brian Branch, who's a second-year player himself, to safety, put a Meek at slot corner, and the same for Ennis Rakestraw. Maybe Ennis Rakestraw is a revelation.
Yes.
Maybe he's better than... I'm not saying he's going to be better than Terrion Arnold because he's not as talented, but maybe he's a guy who projects to be a starter down the road. Maybe those are your bookend corners as early as next year if you let Carlton Davis walk. It's incredibly important, and it could shape things for the future. And as far as Jack Campbell goes at the linebacker side, I think we expect at some point for him to be the best linebacker on this team, maybe even this year. He showed a lot of flashes. I think he struggled a bit more in coverage than maybe we would have thought. But at the same time, he's a rookie linebacker. Right. It's a hard transition being an off-ball linebacker as a first-year player. I mean, look at some of the other guys like a Demarion Overshone or a Trenton Simpson or a Drew Sanders. They were relegated mostly to special teams duty.
Right.
Jack Campbell actually played the whole season and almost had 100 tackles. It wasn't a perfect season. It wasn't a perfect postseason. But at the same time, the rookies and the second-year players, especially because they're Brad Holmes draft picks, it could reshape everything. It could raise the ceiling of this team and be a key factor in whether or not the Lions go to the Super Bowl or not.
And to me, Flannel, Jack Campbell, and you hit on it perfectly, in my opinion, especially comparing it to the Overshones, the Drew Sanders. He didn't have a perfect rookie season, but he was out there, and he got a pretty significant amount of snaps. I think for that specific player, like Jack Campbell as a human, the way he operates and thinks about football, the game is going to be so much slower now. For him to go through that, gain the experience, make the mistakes, I think are going to help him out so much. But then also, you mentioned the cornerbacks, Terrion, Ennis Rakestraw. We were talking when Carlton Davis signed about, okay, how soon are they going to sign him to an extension or maybe just add a year or two to his contract? They restructured it, but they haven't added to it. He's still on a 1-year contract. Amik's on a 2. So it's clear at least they're hoping that these two guys are their bookend corners for the future. But how you set it up now with those two, with Amik Robertson, Brian Branch, these safeties, there's so much versatility in that secondary, and that's just elevated because of the rookies, because you have Terrion and Enos Rakestraw, that maybe it's week 1, maybe it's week 8. They're going to be contributors and can play because they can stop the run too. They got to develop that corner, but God, it's in my head. I hate using this term, but they're dogs. They're dogs.
I was about to cut you off and say dogs.
Like, that's the dog mentality. Like, they're not going to back down from anybody.
And you know that I'm not one to use that terminology as much as others, and I like to look at things a little bit more analytically, which there's nothing wrong with either side.
This is why I've been excited to host with you, because we look at it in a different way.
But the proof, if there's any point of proof that Enos Rakestraw and Terrion Arnold are dogs, one of the things that you can use for proof is the fact that they were both great run defenders in college. In terms of cornerbacks who were coming out, those were 2 of the top run defenders. Those are guys who are not afraid to stick their nose in there and make some plays.
Right.
And also, Terrion Arnold and Enos Rakestraw, which could also shape things for now in the future, they both played more slot corner than other top cornerback prospects, like Quinyon Mitchell, for example, or Terrion's teammate, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Yeah. And that's the thing with the secondary as a whole, which is led by some of the younger guys. There are so many different lineups that you can envision for this team, at least even this year. I already mentioned, if Terrion starts, opposite Carlton Davis, you maybe put Brian Branch at safety, Kirby Joseph, Amik at slot, but if Terrion's not ready, maybe you put Amik as the corner and Brian Branch at slot, and then Iffy and Kirby at safety.
But Amik was pretty good on the outside with the Raiders.
He was very good.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just that. He was very, very good last year as primarily an outside corner. And then the previous season, where he had snaps kind of evenly dispersed, he was very good as well. He wasn't a superstar or anything, but as a number 2 corner, I would feel okay about Amik at least starting the year as the starter. Of course, I want Terrion Arnold to become the starter as the year goes on, and then going into next year and the year after. But to kind of a transition onto this, would it actually be a good thing if Carlton Davis ends up being more of a mercenary and stays here for 1 year, and then maybe would it mean that the cornerbacks of the future develop a little faster?
Yeah. You mean if he's just here, he's a 1-year player?
Yes.
They don't. Yeah.
Yes.
Talk about the caps, but I mean, Carlton Davis has maybe a better reputation as a top cornerback in the league, around the league, as maybe we thought when he was signed, or maybe Buccaneers fans from last year feel, because it wasn't like his best year. But Carlton Davis is a talented man cover corner who can play the outside. It's not intimidated to go against the Justin Jeffersons of the world, the Keenan Allens, the big time receivers that the Lions are going to face. It's absolutely important. And Flannel, I asked the chat, who's the most important rookie or second-year player on the defense? Xavier D said Jack Campbell. Shane D said Brian Branch. Eric Allen actually brought up, he said, I should preface this question as a 2-parter. Who's the most important rookie and second-year player? Make it even more interesting to hear multiple names. KG. Yeah. We were talking about the cornerbacks. We brought up Jack Campbell, even some Brian Branch. But some key rookies that I called out, Mekhi Wingo.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a thing for Matthew Betts. Or second-year players, Broderick Martin, Stephen Gilmore, Brandon Joseph, or how about outside linebacker / edge rusher, Mitchell Agude?
Oh, well,
who showed some things in minicamp, by the way.
True. The person I'm looking at out of that group of players that you named is definitely Broderick Martin at this point. Last year, he was a nothing burger. Like, we didn't know what the hell was going on with this kid. I don't know if he had problems with footwork, weight, whatever the case may be, but he slimmed down a lot this year. And when you look at just what they did in free agency and through the draft, he's going to be depended upon as a backup, reserve on that interior defensive line. So I expect a big year from him. You see, he transformed his body.
He's like pulling what do they call them? Trailers? Like in his backyard?
He's an animal, man. He's an animal. I'm just really looking forward to training camp, because we will get a real up and close look at what this kid has been working on throughout the year, and maybe some of last year as well.
Facts. JB, I'm going to ask you when we come back from break, who's the most important first or second year player on defense? But let's get to break, because what's Kool-Aid say? Feed his lion, you feed his tigers. Like, you got to go to Premier Pet Supply if you want to give your pet the best. Because Premier Pet Supply is hands down. That's right, that camera. Premier Supply. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. They got the same prices and all the convenience of the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated, and have been for over 30 years. They got over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local, curbside, and home delivery is available. So go to Premier Pet Supply if you want to give your pet the best. That's www.premierpetsupply.com.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Guardian Alarm, it's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. They're professional technicians. They'll take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They got 24/7 professional monitoring, so call them anytime, day or night, and know that Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. They got technology backed by people, so your safety and your security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Again, what's that number? Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. What up, though, people? That's my Kool-Aid impression. That's my Brandon Dent impression. What's going on? Good morning. This is Wake Up Woodward. My name is Matt Broder. My co-host for the day, Flannel Sam. The man himself, Flannel Sam. We got KG in the sound booth. Jesus, Justin, in the Mavs chair, and we got JB in the TD booth. We're talking Lions. We're talking Lions training camp, which starts on Saturday. We got to give some love to the chat. And by the way, I see you guys, Brad Hendricks, Keys to Wisdom coming in here now, but Shane D, Jay Cruzen, Chase Amley. Want to go all the way to the top. JZJ, I know, was the first one in the chat. MJ, Greg A753. What's up, people? The Shaquille Oatmeal. I appreciate all of you for joining us. If you could hit that like button, like that would help us out.
And shout out to Kool-Aid. He's in chat as well.
Oh, Kool-Aid's in the chat for sure. He's going to be coming on video at 9:15 to talk Pistons Summer League. He's out in Vegas covering that team. But before we left from break, I asked JB, who's the most important first or second year player on defense for the Lions that you're looking forward to watching this training camp?
Man, I know this is going to be a lot of pressure I'm putting on this guy, but he is a first-round draft pick for a reason. That is Terrion Arnold. I honestly do think that he will shine. And it's a lot of pressure that we're putting on him, and especially me. But he's coming into this locker room with a good foundation as it is already. And I just think everyone else around him will just mentor him and make him the best that he can be. He's got a lot of vets to learn from as well, too. But I am putting a lot of pressure on him. But I think he will rise to the occasion.
Jesus. And I like that, by the way. Terrion Arnold, everything we've seen out of him, including his personality and confidence, I like. Justin.
Brian Branch.
That's your guy.
It's an easy one, but he's my guy. I love watching Brian Branch. A pure playmaker in the playmaker variety. And I just love watching him play. I think he just makes a difference, whether he plays nickel, whether he plays safety this year. I think you're going to see a exponential leap from him, showing that he is one of the best players on this defense this year.
Brian Branch. There's something poetic, guys, about watching a playmaker on defense.
Yeah.
Like when you can be known as a playmaker without having the ball in your hand or going and getting the ball.
Yep.
There's something special about that. That defense has a chance to take a step forward, and I do think it helps their Super Bowl run. But Flannel, on the offensive side, there's no drop-off in core being formed from the rookies and the second-year players, if not even better. Like, we're talking guys, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, Colby Sorsdale. These are second-year players. We got Shoni Vaki, Isaiah Williams, who I put in here, Christian Mahogany, Gio Manu, developmental offensive linemen. Can this offense, or will this group of first and second-year players, can they actually help an offense go from top 3 to like top 2 or top 1?
Yes, they can. And honestly, the best part about it to me is that you really only have to rely on 2 guys. Could you guys envision a scenario where Jahmyr Gibbs has over 1,500 all-purpose yards or yards from scrimmage and is a consensus top 5 running back in the NFL by the end of the season?
Yes.
100%. I don't think that's crazy in any way, shape, or form. Could you imagine a scenario where Sam Laporta becomes the undisputed best tight end in the NFL?
Yes.
I'm not saying that it's for sure going to happen, but he was second-team All-Pro last year.
It's not an outrageous thing to think.
By definition, he was the second best tight end in the NFL last year, and especially since a guy like Travis Kelce, who's still damn good, he is certainly on the decline. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at from those guys. A guy like Jahmyr Gibbs taking a little bit of a leap, getting more involved at the beginning of the season, which we all expect. And I think that he should get the lion's share of the touches offensively out of the backfield, even above a David Montgomery. And when it comes to Sam Laporta, the great thing about Sam Laporta is we saw him have a all-pro season as a rookie tight end. If Sam Laporta doesn't even take a step, if he just stays who he is this year, we would take that. And if he stays who he is over the entirety of his career and has some longevity, we're looking at a Hall of Fame tight end. And then our old friend Lucas Klotz will have made one of the greatest proclamations and had one of the greatest takes in the history of sports. So, yeah, when you look at the rookies, when you look at it all encompassing with the offense, Jahmyr Gibbs, I could see him being a top 5 running back. I could see Sam Laporta being the best tight end for sure. Amon-Ra St. Brown, top 5 receiver. Penei Sewell, best tackle. And Frank Ragnow, best center. That to me sounds like something that could be the best offense in the entire NFL. Maybe even like number 1.
Yes.
It's not outside the realm of possibility. And of course, the second-year players are going to have a lot to do with that.
Yeah, and that includes Antoine Green, who we're hearing good things out of camp. Does he take that step to not just be a 5, but be a contributing 5? Or does he earn it over Donovan Peoples-Jones? I don't think he does yet, but Antoine Green, they're talking about him. Also on the rookie side, I brought him up briefly yesterday, wide receiver Isaiah Williams out of Illinois. Known for getting separation, can play on special teams, both in kick or punt return, if they need him to. And I said, Antoine Randall, loves him. He played quarterback when he started his career at Illinois. So who knows what type of stuff they can scheme up with him. You pair that with a versatile, I don't even know what we want to describe Sione Vaki as yet. The fact that there are pieces to the offense not yet uncovered or stones not turned over yet, like there is more to this. Like you said, they could go from top 3 to top 2 or 1 because of some of these players. And is Jahmyr Gibbs going to get more in the run game, or are we going to see him more in the pass game? Same question for Sione Vaki. Does J-Mo break out? Mm-hmm. What does Khalif Raymond give you with a full healthy season? Like, everyone's clamoring or has been clamoring to go out and get another wide receiver, and I partially understand that, but when you look at the weapons, and I use weapons specifically because these guys can be used in so many different ways, specifically these first and second year players. Yeah,
and there's certainly a pathway to them not needing a receiver, especially if J-Mo breaks out. And I just want to respond quickly to Sione Vaki, a guy like him. He's somebody who I'm not expecting too much from offensively this season, but in college, playing a position that wasn't his natural one, running back, on a per-touch basis, there was nobody more explosive in all of college football. Look at his numbers. Mm-hmm. They're absolutely ridiculous. And a guy like Isaiah Williams, he was projected to be drafted.
Yeah.
He was somebody who some people said as high as the 5th round. And I'm not saying that it's going to be like Isaiah Williams is going to be a big contributor this year or down the road, because UFAs, they might not even make the team, but it's not outside the realm of possibility. And just before we get to anybody else, Cody Ingle when I was talking about all of the possibilities of what could happen with the offense. Will there be enough yards to go around? I think so, because I talked first about Penei Sewell. I talked about Penei Sewell and Frank Ragnow being the best at their positions. Yards don't mean anything when it comes to that. They're just playing on the line. Amon-Ra St. Brown is already probably a top 5 receiver. Sam Laporta, you could argue that he's the best tight end. I probably wouldn't go there yet, but you could make an argument. And Jahmyr Gibbs, I mean, he didn't get really that involved in the offense at the beginning, and he missed a couple of games. 1,500 yards. To me, I'm almost blood bank guaranteeing that at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think there's plenty of yards to go around for those guys to succeed.
Easing Gibbs into it. What's up, Jesus?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I've been waiting patiently over here. Flannel said Gibbs top 10 in the NFL. I'm going to go even further than that. I'm going Gibbs top 5 in the NFL by the time the season's over.
Did you say top 5?
I did say top 5.
Oh, my bad.
Just look back at the tape.
I must have mixed the two in my head. I'm sorry.
Okay, but you agree.
I'm right on Flannel's boat. I will go down with the ship, Flannel. Me and you, 2 Vikings going on the boat, and we're going to ride this till the ship's over.
Just don't bring Jordan Addison with you. Bad things happen.
Yeah, no, we're good on that. All 100%.
Come
Jordan
on, dude.
Addison
Read
got
the room,
straight.
Jordan Addison. Wow. Come on, dude. Don't make these stupid mistakes. Don't make them.
He deleted all his Vikings pictures, too.
He should delete more things in his life.
Yeah.
Including probably some friends of his.
Yep.
But nonetheless, and this probably won't be an extensive conversation. You don't need to go this route, KG, because I want to ask you about these players. But what gives me hope, not just for the now, but for the future, too, with this core, it's the offensive linemen, too. Penei Sewell's young. Yes, he's going to be book it, gold jacket, Hall of Fame. He's there. But we talk about Gio Manu was drafted this year. Big-time developmental prospect. Lomas Brown has some really great things to say about him and what he sort of envisioned in the future. We got Kingsley Egwakun, backup center. I imagine Graham Glasgow will probably play backup center should Frank Ragnow need any time this year. And then they're deeper at guard, whether it's Christian Mahogany, who's also a rookie, Colby Sorsdale. They got a lot of interior offensive linemen I love. Even Brian Hudson, an undrafted rookie out of Louisville. This is a shot put national championship. This is national champion. This is a strong, strong man. Colby Sorsdale, Maurice Alexander, wide receiver, Hendon Hooker. A lot of great first and second year players. Who are you keeping your eye on this training camp, KG?
It would have to be Colby Sorsdale.
Colby?
Yeah, man, because last year, man, he got a lot of grief, and some of it, was well-deserved, but we have to look at, he was a first-year player. He was kind of thrown into the heat of the fire, and he wasn't necessarily prepared for it, man. He had some rough outings out there, but I just look forward to his development because he is going to be relied upon as a top reserve, coming in. Thankfully, if nothing happens to Frank Ragnow and Glasgow doesn't have to go to center or something like that, hopefully our guards will stay healthy. But if he doesn't, then he will be relied upon, man, and they're going to need him. So
yeah, the future, I think, to me at guard, it's Colby Sorsdale and Ed O'Neill. Mahogany's the future.
I believe so.
It's true. JB, you get set in there. You guys are good. We'll talk here for a couple minutes before we get to break, but I think Christian Mahogany, obviously I don't want any injuries on the offensive line. You probably need to assume there's going to be one at some point. Maybe Frank Ragnow misses a game or whatnot, but I think Christian Mahogany, I think he's going to contribute this year. Yeah. He was one who, he drifted a little deep in this draft, a little farther than we all expected, and just seems to fit absolutely flawlessly in Hank Fraley's system.
On this offensive line, certainly. And Christian Mahogany, he's to me, a low ceiling guy, but his floor, I think he could actually be damn near at his floor as a rookie, which is a serviceable starting offensive lineman. But if you put him on this offensive line around some of the superstars that are here, along with Hank Fraley's coaching, maybe his ceiling can even be solid starter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On this offensive line, I think there's a chance that Christian Mahogany's ceiling could be a solid starter.
Kevin Zeitler, 1-year deal.
Yep, Kevin Zeitler, 1-year deal.
Graham Glasgow, 3-year deal, but he could play each guard position or center. So even if by year 3, Graham Glasgow isn't a starter, he's still going to be a contributor in some way.
Yep.
That's great. Man, I'm getting so excited to talk Lions. We're going to talk, I believe, tomorrow, some NFC North.
Do it.
We got to get to break, Justin. NFC
Mahogany was mine. I just wanted to say that. You guys broke it down perfectly.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
You're the man. Mahogany is his guy. We're going to talk NFC North a little bit tomorrow and a little deeper into the training camp. Before we get to break, before I tell you about Lady Jane's, I have to shout out Brad Hendricks in the chat. I actually want to pay my condolences. You shared with everyone, and it seems like everyone's becoming a family in our chat, which is why I feel comfortable, as sad as this is, man. He mentioned that his wife passed away this weekend from ovarian cancer at 47 years old.
Condolences.
Man, I can't imagine what you're going through, Brad. You said this show helped you get through many tough days. That means everything to me. I don't know if anyone wants to say anything. I'm sure I speak for the crew saying hearing that makes all the hard stuff we go through so worth it. Just to hear that we can help anybody through some tough times.
Yeah.
Just talking sports.
I know. And I don't even know what to say to that. It's almost humbling that we are an escape when it comes to losing your wife. Because as somebody who's married myself, they almost, and this is going to sound kind of codependent at first, but it's not what it is. They almost become like another limb, like part of your identity.
Absolutely.
You see them every single day. You wake up to them every single day. So I can't imagine what you're going through right now, man. My condolences. Prayers to you.
Yes. Everyone in chat, please keep your thoughts and prayers with Brad. Brad, come to anytime you need an escape. Come hang out with us, whether in the chat, give us a call, DM us on socials, whatever you need. We got you, man. No easy way to move on from that. Let me tell you about Lady Jane's, one of our great sponsors, one of our owners, great businesses. And then we'll come back and we're going to talk some Tigers because Front Office Flannel is making a return. I also have, I got one thing we got to revisit from the Tigers Sunday walk-off victory.
Okay.
I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Lady Jane's, awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. So stop in, sit back, and relax. Let one of the Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How? Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at RandyWiseBuickGMC.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at WoodwardSports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of the Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. That's 4-time Stanley Cup champion DMAC, Darren McCarty. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. So for more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. What up, Del people? We are back. This is Wake Up Woodward. My name is Matt Broder, co-hosting today with Flannel Sam. You having a good Monday, Flannel?
I'm having a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yes.
Yep. Yup.
Club going. No, I'm having a great Tuesday morning hanging out with you guys.
Yes, this is our first planned show together.
Yes.
We've hosted before, but it was 5 minutes before the show, we don't have a host. You guys do it.
Yep.
Kind of deal. I'm excited to be here with you. Chat, I'm excited here to be with all of you. We're missing our man, Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Brandon Dent, who's out in Vegas covering
Shout out.
the Pistons for the NBA Summer League. He's going to be joining us at 9:15 to give us a breakdown. We're going to talk to him again on Wednesday, talking about all the games he's watched. He's got some player interviews. He's talked to Ron Holland. He's talked to Danish Jenkins. I'm excited to talk to him. But first, before we get into front office flannel, we were talking earlier about some pictures of Kay Adams from KG.
Yeah, man. Well,
also, KG's photography skills.
Yeah, I got more than just pictures with Kay Adams, man. I was making my rounds around the building.
This up.
Literally, the only people I didn't get to was Randy Moss and Darren McFadden, which I think I saw. I just didn't get a chance to get a picture with him. But JB, you can start throwing the pictures up.
I also threw the Herman picture in there too, KG.
Oh, good looks, man. I needed that one too. But yeah, man. So that's me with Jalen Rose. You know, just kicking it, chilling, man. He was real cool, man. Loam when he was on Big D Energy with T Foss and Flannel, man. That was a real good interview. Yeah. Shout out to Lomas for lending his time.
Okay.
He was very nice, very approachable, man. Love Lomas Brown. And you can go ahead to the next slide. So
Flannel eating a glizzy over here.
Yep, Flannel all meat, no sides, in full effect, man. I had to snap
him on blast
a
like
picture, but he did have a little lettuce on there. I'll give him that. He had one shred of lettuce on that fat ass burger. So shout out to Sam, man.
That's a sweet spot.
Of course, me with the legend Megatron, man. That's my second picture with Megatron.
Nicely framed.
Thank you. I lost the first one, so I'm so happy to have this one in my collection now. And then you can go ahead to the next slide, me and Loam, of course, and then me with the lovely Kay Adams. Found out she was
talking Lomas.
Yo, you sick man. But shout out to Kay Adams. She was very nice, very approachable. Found out that she was named after the Godfather movies, but she hasn't seen Godfather or Scarface or any of the mobster movies.
Really?
But yeah, she also called me hot, so I'm taking that to the bank and running with it. So, and we can throw, I believe, the last picture up here.
This is your photography skills?
Man, look, I don't know what the hell
KG,
happened.
what happened, man? What is this?
When I took the picture, both faces were in frame. I'm not sure what happened during the handoff, but I'm not taking full responsibility for this picture being
work right here. Diabolical.
Easy, I'm sorry. I apologize to Easy, man. He compared it to Wizard Kelly yesterday. I thought that was pretty funny, but yeah, man, I tried.
Honestly, that's the funniest picture I've ever seen.
I know.
like how easy set it up yesterday on the heavyweights.
I don't know how this happened. He took my picture with Calvin too, but I got the good picture. So, sorry, Easy. I apologize. That's my guy, Easy, man. I'm sorry,
man. Well, it was so fun yesterday at the Detroit Golf Club for the Kelvin Johnson Celebrity Golf Classic. Got to meet a lot of people. Kay Adams had her show there. Kelvin Johnson was named to the Pride of the Lions. Shout out to the GOAT himself. And we're not going to talk about this today, but I was thinking while this was all going on, I'm going to speak a segment into existence that Herman Moore needs to be the next Lion in the Pride of the Lions. I don't think he's in it.
Yeah,
they were talking about it with him yesterday on Ermanni and Edwards. They were asking him, like, why are you not, your jersey not retired?
Herman was on Ermanni and Edwards?
Yeah, he was.
I missed that show yesterday, but Herman Moore's one of the most underrated receivers in NFL history.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, not just Lions, like NFL. One of the best hands in NFL history.
100%.
He needs to be in there. But we got to move on from the Lions. Let's talk Tigers. It is All-Star break. They're off until Friday, which means it's time to work the front office, time to work the phone lines. And we're here with Flannel to put on his best Scott Harris impression as the president of baseball operations. And I know, Flannel, on Sunday, the Tigers, they walked it off with 2 back-to-back bunts.
Yes, they did. Yes, and
I'm gonna throw that out into the atmosphere.
Yeah,
and I'm just gonna.
What you gonna do with that, Sam?
There.
If you guys didn't already see, I gave Broder my my crow on Twitter or on X, where it worked exactly the way that people who are pro bunting say that it could work. Obviously, you want to sacrifice, but when the defenses, you put pressure on the defense and they can't make a play, the Dodgers pitcher is pretty much kicking it all over the field and threw it away, and obviously the winning run scored. So for that circumstance, bunting worked. Am I pro bunting now philosophically? No, I am not, but I'm not going to be stubborn. You win that round. But
he's open to change.
But a win for that round means a win for the Tigers, which means a 5-2 homestand, which brings me into better vibes going into the All-Star break. And piggybacking off of that, so the Tigers have had a up and down year, and they finished the season on an absolute tear, and we were all on cloud 9. What dampened things just a little bit, though, was realizing that after all of that, the Tigers are still 7 games out of the wild card because the Boston Red Sox have been on fire as well. So the question I had to ask myself, should the Tigers buy or should they sell? But I decided How about a little bit of both?
Yes.
How about a little bit of buy and sell? Maybe sell what you can and buy what you can. So,
which is a strategy, by the way. Like this Tigers team on the verge of contention. What are they? 7 games back from the wild card. Like, we still don't know what Scott Harris and this team is going to do. And they could do a little bit of both. But I'm excited to hear these options: a buy and a sell.
Yes, I'm going to start with the sell. And JB, if you want to put up my trade one scenario right now, this is the sell, and this is somebody. All right, so trade one. This is the sell. The Detroit Tigers will trade third baseman Gio Urshela and outfielder Ryan Vilade to the Seattle Mariners, and the Tigers will receive the number 91 MLB prospect. He's a shortstop named Felinin Celestin. Who Felinin Celestin isn't as relevant to this conversation as the philosophical point of this. Why. And the question you would ask yourself is, why would the Seattle Mariners do this? Well, the Mariners are somehow leading the AL West, but they are last. I repeat, last in all of Major League Baseball in batting average. Gio Urshela would come into the Seattle Mariners and ranked second on their team in batting average. That is not a misprint. Gio Urshela would be the second leading hitter on the Seattle Mariners. And Gio Urshela is actually that type of player that could make a difference for this Mariners team, maybe getting them a couple of extra big hits and a couple of extra wins as they try to hold off the Houston Astros. And of course, Ryan Vilade is somebody who has come on lately for the Tigers, came in and been a spark plug, and maybe he could be plugged into the Seattle Mariners lineup. Why would the Tigers do this? Yeah. Why would I do this if I were GM of the Tigers? Because Gio Urshela is the type of player that old Flannel Sam, that front office flannel, does not want on his baseball teams. And I get it. Walk-off hero, I understand that. He's come up with some timely hits. But Gio Urshela also does not do two things. One, Gio Urshela does not get on base. He has an on-base percentage this season under 300. Can't have that on my team unless of course, you slug, which Gio Urshela has not done as well. His slugging percentage is under 650. If you're looking for an example of somebody who doesn't get on base enough but slugs, look no further than Matt Vierling, which is why there's obviously like a UFA element to it all, but why Gio Urshela, I think, is more expendable than you think.
And Flannel, and maybe you're just about to get to it, but Chuckle Cheese in the chat, and even Charles McClain say, but we just drafted a shortstop. And Charles said, we just drafted 4 shortstops.
All right, so, and that's actually perfect because I want to get to that as well.
Okay.
When it comes to Felinin Celestin, why I chose him, one, this is the easiest one. That is all that I believe a Gio Urshela and a Ryan Vilade pick will return you, because he is, in terms of the top 100 prospects that the Seattle Mariners have, he is last. And he's a number 91. If you're trading somebody like Jack Flaherty, maybe you could get one of a higher prospect, but Gio Urshela is not worth that much. That's also why I had to combine it with a Ryan Vilade. But also, to me, it's about building a war chest of top 100 prospects in the Tigers farm system, because there's options. Obviously, you just drafted Bryce Rayner. You have Kevin McGonigal. Well, Kevin McGonigal also might end up being a second baseman. Bryce Rayner and Felinin Celestin, there's a little bit of an element of iron sharpens iron, and Celestin is a little bit farther along than a Bryce Rayner, about a year farther along. And also, it gives you options as you move forward. If Bryce Rayner is somebody you want to move forward, and Felinin Celestin, especially if he continues to climb the ranks of prospects, is not, that could be somebody you could use to flip for an MLB bat later. To me, this is more about the war chest. And if Felinin Celestin turns out to be somebody that the minor leagues can develop into being a good minor league player, being a good major league player, then it's all worth it. I just want to keep that war chest going. And JB, there's another graphic in there. It would now give you 5, if you put in Felinin Celestin, 5 of the top 100 prospects in Major League Baseball. You'd have the number 10 Max Clark, you'd have the number 11 Jackson Jobe, you'd have the number 41 Jace Young, the number 64 Kevin McGonigal, and the number 91 Felinin Celestin. That to me is a pretty good farm system. And whether those guys develop into being Tigers one day or they end up being guys that you flip, I just like the war chest aspect of it. And I think Gio Urshela is expendable, and Ryan Vilade is too much of an unknown, maybe a flash in the pan. And also, I want a top 100 prospect. You're not getting that for just Gio Urshela. But you're going to get more value than you think because the Seattle Mariners need someone like Gio Urshela and need someone even like a Ryan Vilade.
Yeah, very true. I want to ask you more about that. Actually, I want to dig into the shortstop portion when we get back from break. And we got the buy or the sell? The buy portion of front office flannel coming up. So let me tell you about Swiss Insurance, and we'll come back and finish talking about these trades. So now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. So call Mark at Swiss Insurance today. That's 313-530-1698. That's SwissINS.com. Check them out.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at RandyWiseBuickGMC.com.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Did somebody say merge? Do yourself a favor right now. Go to WoodwardSports.com. Click on that shop tab. We are dropping new designs every single week. And you know my favorite right now, hashtag Boodum Kids.
Boodum Kids.
That are, what? That Boodum Kids that are out right now that you can go pick up. We also got the Stoke Not Scared. And you know what? The Tigers are starting to pick it back up. So you might want to hop on the bandwagon right now and get yourself some merch as well of theirs. WoodwardSports.com. Click on that merch tab. Get swagged out. As Broder said, training camp is almost here.
It's almost here. What up, dough people? I'm trying to channel my inner Kool-Aid, who's out in Vegas right now.
Big bat
covering
energy.
The Pistons. What was that?
Big bat energy.
Big what?
Big bat energy.
Big bat.
Yes.
Like Batman.
Yes. You know how he loves to grab the bat?
Oh, he does. Yeah, just
bat energy.
holds that. I'm going to.
Don't do that
motion. I
motion.
start talking myself into FAB.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How about big boo Bruce Bochy energy? That's what I want.
I'm down with that. I wonder if he made that call. Corbin Burns starting the All-Star game. He's a free agent after this year. Bruce Bochy may be doing some
tampering,
some politicking.
He's that. Honestly, if it works, then it's smart.
Genius.
Because Bruce Bochy's a 4-time World Series winning manager. You know, like if he gets number 5, we're man
insane.
Yeah.
Gromit 0237 in the chat says Broder was disappointed when no one bunted at the home run derby.
I was just about to say that.
I just wanted one. Bobby Witt could have bunted inside the park homer. He's fast enough. They should start doing something like that. No, they shouldn't. Welcome back. We're in the middle of our front office flannel segment. We're talking Tigers. We're talking trades. Shout out to all of you in the chat. I see you, Jenna Newman. OG. Not here every day anymore. She's a busy girl. Busy woman. Excuse me. Welcome back, Jen. I see you, Eric Allen. Bada bing, bada boom. Charles McClain. George Eagle. Chuck Brewer. Thanks for all your interaction. Flannel just made a trade. Urshela and Vilade to the Mariners for a top 100 prospect, a shortstop for the Mariners. Yeah. I know there's been some concern in the chat. We just drafted all these shortstops. Before we get to the buy portion, my philosophy with minor leaguers, especially young, recent draft picks, new players in the Tigers minor league, you can't have too many shortstops.
Yes. Yep.
Like, they're the most athletic players on the field. They don't have to end up at shortstop their entire career. Many don't. Whether you move them to third, second, if they're a big shortstop, maybe to first, or the outfield. So just because they're starting at shortstop doesn't mean that's their final destination on the field. But also, to Flannel's point, the goal of this was just building that war chest of top 100 prospects.
Yep, and just remember who the starting shortstop is at Toledo right now. His name is Ryan Kreidler.
Mm-hmm.
Need I say more?
Right.
Who's another middle infielder? Edie's Leonard.
Yeah.
He's all right. He's just okay. Like, I don't expect him to be really a part of the future.
We have the worst shortstops in the MLB.
Yeah. So just
plain and simple.
My only follow-up from that,
Yeah,
your initial trade is, would you try to sprinkle a little more love on that from the Tigers' end to try to go and get one of their top prospects, like a Harry Ford? I love catcher Harry Ford.
I would give anything for Harry Ford. The question is, what would you really do? You'd probably have to include, would you have to include Jace Young at that point? Would you have to include,
maybe Flaherty. I mean, Bobby Miller isn't pitching well.
But I'm also buying, though. I want Flaherty on this team, which I think is a pretty good transition, right?
Yeah, buy.
Yeah.
Let's hear this buy.
Let's hear this buy one, which I think you guys will probably be a little bit more on board with. So, JB, bring up trade 2.
JB, spin that track.
As you can see, there's a little bit of a cliffhanger. The White Sox, the Chicago White Sox. Remember, I previewed this last week that he was somebody in division. The Chicago White Sox would receive in this trade the number 2 Tigers pitching prospect. I should have put pitching prospect Ty Madden, and the number 3 Tigers outfield prospect Justice Bigby.
All right.
And one of the reasons that the White Sox would do this is because the player in question is an undrafted free agent. Why the hell would the White Sox not want to lose him for nothing? And why the hell would anybody resign with the White Sox? And 2,
they're scum of the earth.
They absolutely are. And the White Sox, they just need as many good prospects as they can possibly get. Only 2 of their top 7 prospects are pitchers, and only 1 of their top 12 prospects are outfielders.
Yeah.
So
there's only one player I want off this team. It better be him.
Ooh, I am interested. I am interested to hear that. So,
and before you reveal yours, let's hear who he has. But continue. Let's hear who that one player he wants is.
You know it. It's Louis Robert.
Well, prepare to be disappointed, Mr. KG, because hit it. Give me Justin's graphic of who the Tigers will receive in this trade. It is none other than veteran outfielder Tommy Pham. Absolutely, Tommy Pham.
You sound so disappointed right now.
I heard the groans from the chat. Like I felt it coming out of the computer.
Hey, but let me give you the reasons why the Detroit Tigers would do this. I mean, he is 36 years old. He's a little bit old. He's in his 11th season. He's on an expiring contract. But here is why the Tigers should make this move. Because Tommy Pham, and I'm going to start with this first because I'm Moneyball Flannel Sam. Tommy Pham has a lifetime on base percentage of 350. And that is over 1,000 games played. He has maintained that throughout his entire career and has a career OPS of 781 in over 1,000 career games. He has been a damn good player for a very, very long time. And his 350 on base percentage, which he's maintained for a career, would rank him second on the Tigers, and his 781 career OPS would rank him third on the Tigers this year. This season, his numbers have fallen off just a tad because he's a little up there in age, but he still has a 339 on base percentage, which would rank him third on the Tigers, and a 706 OPS, which isn't a whole lot which isn't the best, but it's at least over 700. He has a little bit of power, but that on base percentage, by the way, that 339, just to give you a little bit of context, it's the exact same as Adley Rutschman, starting catcher in the All-Star game. It's higher than Jose Ramirez, starting third baseman for the AL in the All-Star game. I'm not saying he's as good as those guys, but that's kind of the name of the game with Moneyball. Undervalued players that you can plug into this Tigers lineup, a veteran who can help some of the young guys. And Tommy Pham, just another quick thing as to why Tommy Pham would be a good acquisition. He has been a midseason acquisition in his career already 3 times. 3 times. He does this for a living at this point. After having his first 5 years in St. Louis, he's kind of been a mercenary throughout his career through no fault of his own. But he's somebody that a lot of these contending teams are like, you know what we need? We need Tommy Pham. And also, last season, do you know who Tommy Pham was a midseason acquisition for?
Who?
The Arizona Diamondbacks, the team that represented the National League in the World Series. And in the playoffs, Tommy Pham hit 3 home runs, including 1 in the World Series, and his playoff OPS is 846, which is higher than his regular season OPS, which means by that definition, he's not only somebody who's had a very good career as a regular season player, but by OPS definition, he is a playoff elevator, which those don't come around every single day. And the goal of Tommy Pham is for the Tigers to make a run and get into the playoffs.
That's what I want to ask before you keep going. And I have some questions / concerns with this trade. But how you frame this sounds like this is a move with the expectation that the Tigers are contending / make the playoffs. It's a rental, right? Trading 2 not top prospects, but top pitching and top outfield prospects.
Yeah, well, so
does that put you over the top?
The reason why I did this, the reason why, and it leads me to another question of why the Tigers would do this, is because you were able to make that trade and not have to give up any of your top 100 prospects. That graphic said that Ty Madden's the number 2 prospect with the Tigers. He's the number 2 pitching prospect.
Got you.
But he's not a top 100. Justice Bigbie is your 11th best prospect in the Tigers organization, but he's somebody that I think the White Sox could use along with Ty Madden. That's why I would do that. And I think with somebody like Tommy Pham, especially since he's up there in age, if he comes to the Tigers and he has success and they do go on a run, maybe he's somebody that you re-sign.
Yeah.
And if Tommy Pham helps you go on a playoff run, it's worth it. It's 100% worth it. It's risky, but he's not expensive, and you're not giving up your top 100. You still got a nice, especially if you get Felon and Celestin as well. You got 5 top 100 plus Tommy Pham.
Just is he enough to get them the wild card?
I think so.
I don't know.
Because you know why?
Why?
I got a lineup for you that looks pretty damn sexy right now, which is what I think the Tigers should use going forward. And this is a team that can at least get you 85 wins, given your pitching staff. JB, throw that lineup up there. Batting first,
Damn,
left
you
fielder.
sound horny. I can't lie.
Yeah.
That's all right. Because I like Moneyball. Batting first at left field, Riley Green. Look at that OPS, 866 All-Star. Batting second, playing right field, Tommy Pham. He's got a 706 OPS, but he's got a high on-base percentage. He just doesn't slug enough. Along with number 3 hitter Mark Canha at first base with a 676 OPS. Again, he doesn't have a high OPS, but he's got one of the highest on-base percentages on the team despite his recent struggles. At number 4, shortstop Andy Ibanez with his 768 OPS. And before you tell me that Andy Ibanez can't play shortstop, I understand that he hasn't played it a lot. He has played it a little bit this season, but Andy Ibanez is one of the few players. He actually is one of the few players on the Tigers who has been consistently a good defender throughout his career. Andy Ibanez has been a plus defender at pretty much every position on the infield. He just hasn't played a ton of shortstop. And at this point, I don't want to see Baez, Kreidler, or McKinstry ever again. Thank you for that triple, though, McKinstry.
I love Ibanez at shortstop.
Thank you. At number 5, Carson Kelly at catcher with his 736 OPS. Number 6, batting 6th, Wensiel Perez with his 710 OPS. I know this one is going to make a lot of people mad, but Colt Keith batting 7th at second base with his 703.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Juice at the bottom of the lineup.
Number 8, Justin Henry Malloy, DH with a 726 OPS. And at batting 9th, and the reason I have Matt Vierling batting 9th is because he does not get on base enough. But he slugs.
Yeah.
But his 726 OPS. This lineup, I get it. And I'm going to compare it to some of the lineups that we just saw this weekend. It doesn't have the star power of like the Dodgers, especially when Mookie Betts is there. But look at this lineup and how consistent it is. There are, what people don't understand, and Broder, I know that you do, is that when people say stuff like a guy like Wensiel Perez, for example, wouldn't start on a contending team, there are bad baseball players littered throughout every single lineup in Major League Baseball. Even the teams that we just played. Look at the Los Angeles Dodgers. Do you know who the Dodgers have trotted out this year consistently? Jason Hayward, Chris Taylor, Gavin Lux, Kike Hernandez, and James Outman. I know Kike Hernandez had a big home run, and Gavin Lux came up with some big hits. All of these guys are sub 300 on base percentage guys, and all 5 of those guys, it was 5, have more than 100 at bats. This lineup at least is consistency across the board. There aren't any easy outs in this lineup right here. And I think right here, with the pitching that they have, with the on-base ability, with the slugging ability, this is a lineup that you can win with. This is a lineup that can get you 85 wins. And
honestly,
also,
Flannel, I really like this.
Thank you.
I'm very underwhelmed with the Tommy Pham trade, but looking at this lineup,
thank you.
I am very optimistic. And I like Colt Keith in the 7th spot. And finish your thought, and maybe we revisit the Colt Keith portion of it, but I like that. Like that. That's not the future lineup, but for this year, that's a quality lineup.
I'm just saying, this is a lineup which we all know has been scorching hot lately. And as I've said before, and this is something where I am going to reiterate more and more again. It does us no good at this point to opine for Wyatt Langford or Matt Chapman. What does us good is to put the best players out there that you have, whether Tommy Pham is there or not. But Tommy Pham gives you that veteran bat that has been in a ton of big games, that has played a lot of seasons, that has been a high on base guy, that in his prime slugged more than he does now. But there are no real huge weaknesses across this lineup. And oh, by the way, do you know what the wild card is in all of this?
What?
Imagine if one of these players doesn't work out, if somebody struggles down the stretch. What if Kerry Carpenter comes back?
Thank you.
What if Kerry Carpenter at his 914 OPS in 50 games comes back? And it's an if. It is an if, and I understand that. But if you take the one person out that maybe you don't like Mark Canha. And I understand Mark Canha is somebody for geeks like me who really value on base percentage. Maybe you don't like what he's done lately.
Could you then put Andy Ibanez at first, Wenzel Perez at shortstop, and then Kerry Carpenter back in the outfield?
You could. That's all I'm saying. All of these players have something that they can offer to a lineup, and a lot of them too, for the people who say that I don't care about defense, they do have positional versatility.
Yeah.
Think of all of the players that have positional versatility. Mark Canha and Matt Vierling at the top of the list. Like Wenzel Perez can play all over the outfield. So can Riley Green. There's a DH position. This is the lineup that should be moving forward. And Tommy Pham, yes, he is. He will get you over the top. He will get you to the playoffs.
My first concern was outfield isn't the problem. Like we got plenty of outfielders who sits on the bench, but the disclaimer of what happens with Kerry Carpenter, as long as Riley Green is still in there, he was in left field, Wenzel in center. I dig it. And Kool-Aid's on, so we're going to get to break. We got to get to it, but at the end of the show, I want to ask you, because it's a hot topic of conversation, Colt Keith in the seventh.
Yep.
In the seventh spot.
Enough.
People are concerned with that because he's so scorching hot
Little
right
criminal,
now.
in my opinion.
All right, well,
that's what it seems like. I understand why you and probably a lot of people think that seems insane right now, but
I understand he'll come back down to earth most likely, but still,
he will.
In terms of riding hot bats, I mean, at least for now, he should be at the top.
Fair. So let's get to break. We got Kool-Aid coming in on video next from Vegas. Well, Flannel, tell us about Les Stanford.
Absolutely. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years?
50.
You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust. On Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Guys, Woodward Sports Network, they got you covered for all the Detroit sports coverage you need. From 8 to 10, you start with us here, Wake Up Woodward. We got the crew in the house. Kool-Aid is in Vegas covering the Pistons. We're going to talk to him now. But at 11 o'clock, from 11 to 1, we got Big D Energy featuring Neil Rule, Darren McCarty. KG's on that show, as he's on every show. Spenmo Rax, Justin, even Flannel fills in on Mondays and Fridays. They do an awesome job of interacting with the chat. I'd really encourage you to watch Big D Energy, hosted by Neil Rule and D-Mac. Coming up at 11 o'clock. Then at 2, from 2 to 4, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. We got Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, and Tom Mazaway covering all sports. They get a little more national with it. They go around the NFL often, have some really great conversations. Then you want a good laugh with some really good football knowledge. And you know Spenny, and you know the crew. They got baseball, they got hockey, and they got it all down. Basketball, I was like, which is the fourth sport? That's the Woodward Heavyweights with Detroit Mario, Nick Koloff in the sound booth, and Chris Platty in the TD booth. Tune into Woodward Sports Network all day. We got some great shows. Let's go. What up, dope people? This is Wake Up Woodward. We are back. We just finished front office flannel. He broke down 2 trades for the Tigers to maybe consider. He's in a Scott Harris bag, giving us some hypotheticals as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline. I dig that segment. We're going to revisit it, I think, before the end of the show. But we got to get out to our man, the third co-host of Wake Up Woodward, who is not here today because he's in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I think he's chilling out by the pool somewhere. You know, I see all the sun in the background.
Don't do this to us.
Must be nice.
Don't do it to us. This is Brandon Dent, our credential Pistons beat writer and reporter, Detroit Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid!
Hey, what up, though?
I'm fired up! What up, though, Kool-Aid? How you doing out there?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a fun time. It's been hot. It's been really, really cool. Shout out to Broder.
I'm in your
really,
seat.
Really cool to just kind of be like amongst the NBA and basketball culture, seeing people who are really trying to make it, man. You know, when you play NBA 2K and you do that kind of your path to the league, seeing it on this level and being credentialed to kind of put you on the ground level where you can hear people talking. You hear them talking to their families about their hopes, their dreams, where they hope to make it. You see everybody working hard for this opportunity. It's been cool to see, man.
I love it, Kool-Aid. Before I pass it to Flannel and the crew and we start asking you some questions, what's some of the non-on-the-court basketball things you've experienced, whether it's interviewing players or what is your vibe out there? What's going on?
The vibes have been cool. It's meeting Fred Vinson, talking to my guy, Dwayne Casey.
Nice.
Kind of interacting with Pistons PR, Vince Ellis, meeting some of the other media members too. This is crazy. This is so crazy. There's a media member from the Houston Rockets, actually, who he sat down next to me when the Houston Rockets and the Pistons were playing, and he looked at me, and he looked at me again. He's like, "You're Kool-Aid." I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Man, you're part of like Woodward Sports and Wake Up Woodward." He's like, "I watch y'all every single day." He was like, "There was something that happened between Stephen Silas." He's like really good friends with the old assistant coach Stephen Silas. He started plugging in, tapping in, and stumbled upon the Woo Crew, man. So
that's awesome, man. A lot of that has to do with you and your networking, the relationships you're building with a lot of these people and the Pistons organization. I don't know, Flannel, if you had a question. I know the Pistons are 1-1 in Summer League. They had game 2 yesterday. Yeah. Dennis Jenkins had himself a day. What's been your takeaway from this team from the first 2 games? I've really enjoyed watching, especially Ron Holland in the first game, but Bobby Klintman in both games. I'm a fan.
You know what? You talked about some of those interactions. I actually got to meet Bobby Klintman's family as well as Ron Holland's family. And Bobby Klintman's family, I just saw these people. They didn't look like they were necessarily from Detroit. They looked like they were from overseas, which they were. Yeah. They were decked out in Pistons gear. And I was like, I know Pistons fans, and they don't even wear the gear like this. And I got to talk to them really quickly, and they're ecstatic. Like, they're all in on Detroit. They're happy that the Pistons really identified him as his talent, traded up for him to be able to get him. And they have a big role in mind for him. It's been cool to see Bobby Klintman just kind of do his thing. I guess the blessing in disguise with Ron Holland missing yesterday's game, just due to rest, was that we got to see Bobby Klintman, Dennis Jenkins do a little bit more, get a little bit more opportunity. And they looked really good. Bobby Klintman, he's looking like one of those kind of stretch 4 players that the Pistons will be able to rely on from behind the arc with the ball in his hands. He used to be a point guard before he did his growth spurt. So that boy can pass the rock too. He has all the tools there, but obviously it's summer league, so we temper some things. And then Dennis Jenkins, 6'4" guard, best friends, honestly, with Marcus Sasser. He told me that they grew up together, and you guys will be seeing some of the clips. That guy is underrated. Underrated.
I never heard of him, if I'm going to be honest.
He's a hooper, man. What'd you say?
I hadn't heard of him, if I'm going to be honest with you.
I feel bad that I wasn't really tapped into who he was as a player as well. But just seeing him ball, and he's one of those guys that just has that feel for the game, man. Can get anywhere on the court. He's never rattled. He just looks really, really, really composed. And with the opportunities he got yesterday, he took full advantage of it. And the Pistons were down 10 most of that first half until Dennis Jenkins got going, as well as a timeout where we noticed the Detroit Pistons changed up their defense. Reed Shepard of the Houston Rockets, who was somebody we wanted, and Dalton Connect as well. Those boys have been hooping. But Reed Shepard got locked up yesterday, and Dennis Jenkins was one of those guys who was playing defense on him. Pretty tough. It was pretty cool to see.
Hey, sounds great, and I hope you're having fun out there, Kool-Aid. But I wanted to ask the question about Marcus Sasser. What have you seen? Hey, what have you seen from him? Are you concerned, encouraged? What are your thoughts on what you've seen from Marcus Sasser in Summer League?
I'm glad you asked that because Marcus Sasser's the guy we said, hey, we're not really talking about him when we talk about this young core. And then you see him in Summer League, and it just makes you wonder, is he taking maybe a step back? I got the opportunity to talk to him yesterday after the game, and he did tell me he's specifically working on right now, still staying aggressive, still looking for his shot, but it's not going to be the overarching thing that he's looking to do right now. He's looking to get better as a facilitator and as a playmaker, setting other people up. And one of the most difficult places to do that is in Summer League with players who are not full-blown NBA players. And so he's just a point guard who now is reducing his shot attempts. Things that he would normally do where we saw him kind of pop off for 20 points here and there in the NBA. Well, he's getting to those spots. And instead of pulling up, not the mandate, but the focus is try and facilitate. And then he spoke to that saying, you know, the role he's going to play on the team, obviously they want him to shoot threes. Obviously they want him to score. They don't want him to not be aggressive. But to play on this new iteration of the Pistons team, you're going to have to be able to facilitate a little bit better as a 6'1" combo guard. So that's kind of why he's looked the way he has in Summer League. The first half of yesterday, it wasn't the best, but he did end up with, I think, 6 second-half assists. And he looked much better, looked a little bit more composed, played better defense in the second half. But in terms of what I was expecting to see, I thought he was going to hit Summer League like he did last year when he dropped the 40 ball.
Yeah, Kool-Aid, my dog, glad you tapped in with us, man. I wanted to ask you about your takeaways about Ron Holland. I know he didn't play in that second game, but in that first game, he had 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. I know his field goal percentages weren't the best. He was also 0 of 2 from 3. What are your takeaways from Ron Holland in just his first appearance with the team?
The first appearance, I thought it was a decent one. You know, we've seen this before out of Pistons players, and so obviously you temper things. But what I was looking for out of Ron Holland was the type of skill sets that the Detroit Pistons are going to be able to help blossom. They're saying that they're drafting him because of his potential, and that defensively he is already kind of putting in that work. That first game, you could see it's a player for the Pistons. He and Asar Thompson, they're going to be a good tandem when you want to be able to go more defensive-minded rather than offensive-minded with your wings. I want to see him be more assertive, though. I believe that he hurt himself by not just going full-fledged. I wanted to see him go out there and be dominant. I know he likes to pass and all of that, but in a summer league like this, and you're the first overall, the number 5 pick, the first pick for the Detroit Pistons in the draft, you kind of want to see this guy go out there and be what he was in the G League. We all talked about, if you're getting to Ron Holland, look at the volume. The guy was taking 16 shots and hitting over 50% of them overall from the floor. So it's like, if you know the three-point ain't there, I'm not looking for his three-point shot to just magically be good now. I'm looking for that like towards training camp to see improvements after a couple months. But overall, I like his game, but I want to see more. I want to see a little bit more assertiveness. I want to see a little bit more of that dominant mindset that we saw him play with the G League Ignite.
Kool-Aid, what is something that Ron Holland has done in Summer League that you think can translate to what he can contribute to the Pistons this year? Because obviously Summer League and being on the Pistons as a rookie are 2 very, very different games.
Oh, yeah. I think one of the things the Pistons have been, really lacking, not one. Athleticism is probably the bullet point, and then there's a whole lot of things that have been affected by that. Lack of speed, lack of cutting, lack of lobs, lack of rim runs, lack of transitions. Now you got a player who, at the very least, day one can come in and play defense, understands the assignment, has an instinct to play defense. How good will he be on the next level? We don't know. On the offensive side of the ball, though, he's not one of those guys that's just like, well, just stand in the corner and shoot, and if you're not making that shot, then you're non-existent. He's a guy that can put his back to the basket, can get downhill on players and get to the rack. He finished pretty good at the rim as well. He's a guy that when he gets into that mid-range, he just has a feel for the game. Like, he can hit a mix of floaters. He can hit a mix of things like off 2 feet, off one leg. And he finds ways to kind of get to that rack. Now, if he's playing with a Cade Cunningham and playing with some of the dynamic guards and shooters that he will, he's going to have space. And so if he's cutting, as long as he's like one of those guys that's going to go out there and set screens, if he's one of those guys that's filling the empty space, Ron Holland has the skill sets that will be able to be used day one.
Love that, Kool-Aid. I got one last question for you. And tomorrow for the chat, Kool-Aid's going to be on for 2 segments. He's replacing our Woodward Pistons segment with Rod Beard. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into all this. But we had to see your face while you're out in Vegas right now. I was about to ask you about Tolu Smith, but Doc Macaroon in the chat had a better way to phrase the question. And don't feel like you need to go towards Smith. He says, who's an under-the-radar player from Pistons people should get to know?
I honestly believe it's Dennis Jenkins. How many people know that he's already signed to the Detroit Pistons? He is their two-way player. His coach as well is tapped in, man. He's following Woodward Sports. Followed a couple of us, I believe, actually. And he's like, yo, we here, Detroit. Basically, like, I know he's a two-way player, supposed to be with the Crews, but our eyesight is for the big leagues right now. And that's a guy that I think you should get to know. He's a hard that Detroit kind of grit to him, that feel. And when talking to him after the game, he's excited, man. He's excited. He said as soon as the draft was over, like, Detroit lit up his phone lines. Like, multiple people hit him up. And he was like, I couldn't even answer because it was just going in so fast. So I just waited, called them back, and I'm ecstatic to be here. He said Marcus Sasser as well has been a big help for him. His longtime best friend. They grew up in Texas together. And it's Dennis Jenkins. That's who you should get to know. Familiarize yourself.
And just to clarify for myself and the chat, it's Dennis Jenkins. Dennis,
Danis, D-A-N-I-S-S.
Dennis Jenkins. That is Kool-Aid's initial reaction to the question, who's under the radar player for the Pistons to keep an eye on this summer leading into next year. Kool-Aid, we're going to spend some more time with you tomorrow, but man, this was awesome. So great seeing your face. It feels like a complete show now. Any last words about your time out there in Vegas? And Ryan's reaction says, make sure to take some time and relax. You can sneak that in.
Yeah.
See some sights.
Hey, you know what? Today is that day. After this, got Queen Kool-Aid and Baby Kool-Aid. She was going to make an appearance, but she fell asleep. And so we're going to go out. We're going to enjoy Vegas a little bit. There's some family things that we're going to get into. And I'm looking forward to it, man. You know, she came out to support, and so I want to be able to make sure I show her some time. Then I get over to the game, and then maybe we go out and do some dinner as well before we head back tomorrow.
Awesome.
But, I've missed you guys. This has been awesome. I missed the chat family as well. It's been cool to just engage. Shout out to KG. You crushed it on the desk yesterday. And today's show, bro. It's going fabulous, man. This is the Woo Crew. It's why I'm grateful to be a part of the squad because, you know, none of us are promised anything. It's a matter of what the brotherhood does for each other. And the fact that everybody on this squad deserves to start. Everybody does. Everybody's so talented. So keep crushing, man. Proud of everybody. Miss you guys. Can't wait to be back.
Kool-Aid, chat. Everyone, that was Detroit Kool-Aid. His real name is Brandon Dent. We call him Detroit Kool-Aid. Thanks so much for updating us on everything, joining us this morning. I'm looking forward to our segment tomorrow, man. Enjoy.
Stay blessed, Kool-Aid. Miss you, dog.
Yep. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Safe travels.
Safe
travels.
Yep. Safe travels.
Yes. So today we're gonna talk more Pistons tomorrow. We're gonna get to break now. Kool-Aid's gonna tell you about the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan. When we come back, before what's trending, I think let's just revisit the Colt Keith question instead of forcing the Pistons segment I had planned. We'll hit that tomorrow.
Sounds good.
For now, tell us about Boys and Girls Club.
Absolutely. Join the best youth football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment, meals, and transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports.
Braylon Networks here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of. And guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at RandyWiseBuickGMC.com.
This summer, Dispo Dispensary is turning up the heat with amazing giveaways and exclusive offers. Enter for a chance to win a signed football jersey and helmet from your favorite sports team. Screenshot this image with a QR code, bring it into one of their locations to get scanned, and you'll get a free $10 to spend in store. This will automatically qualify you for the giveaway. Dispo Dispensary, visit today, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
And you know, after you stop off at Dispo, you know you're going to be hungry. So why not head over to Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza? Because they are taking over Michigan right now. They're known for their hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tenders, chicken sandwich, and you can't forget about the New York style pizza and also this Nashville hot pizza that we got on the screen right there. Look, locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit. They're even doubling the number of restaurants this year alone. Soroki's just had their grand opening in Madison Heights as well. And be sure to check out one of their mega stations that are near you. Or if you can't, you can always order online at Sorokis.com.
Man, that ad, that picture, it reminds me of Pavlov and his dogs. Like, I see that and my mouth starts watering. Yeah. Watering. What up, dope people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. First show of the day is part of the Woodward Sports Network. We're here every day, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. This is my co-host for the day, Sam Flannel. Flannel Sam. Sam.
Yes.
My name is Matt Broder. Kool-Aid, who was just on. He's out in Vegas. He's our third co-host. Covering the Pistons out in Summer League. We got KG in the sound booth, Justin/Juices in the Maz chair, and JB in the TD booth. Thank you all for being here. If you could hit that like button, man, it really would. It would help us out a lot. So we appreciate it. Smash that if you're watching on YouTube. I got one question to ask Flannel before we get into what's trending with JB Smoove here in 3 minutes. But I got to shout out our boy Chase Amley.
Yeah.
Actually, more specific, I got to shout out his sister, Libby. Today's her 25th birthday. Happy birthday to you, Lizzie. We're a big fan of your brother. We're a big fan of Chase Amley, but I hope, Lizzie, you have a fantastic 25th birthday. Be safe.
Yeah.
Be safe, but go have fun.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy
Happy
your
birthday.
day.
Chase
25.
told me yesterday you deserve to have a great 25th
It was yesterday.
birthday. No, it's today. It's today. He told me it was her birthday, though. Today, yesterday.
Got you. 25, halfway to 50. Quarter of the way to 100.
Yeah.
Got a long life to live.
Shout out, sis.
Long life to live.
Quarter
Happy
of the
birthday
way
to
to
you,
a
Libby.
midlife crisis.
Factual.
Yeah.
Factual.
Big
But before
fact.
we get into what's trending with JB Smoove, we got like 2 minutes, Fun. I want to ask you, because there was a lot of concern. Colt Keith in the 7-hole? Why?
Yes. All right, and Juices, I'll give you a chance to respond to it because I know you're dying for it. Right now, with Colt Keith being in the 7, it's simple. And many people are going to think I'm looking at this too simplistically, but he doesn't walk enough. I need people at the top of the order who I can trust to not swing at bad pitches and take more walks and get on base more. I understand that Colt Keith is hotter than the surface of the sun right now, but he still hasn't really improved that walk rate enough, and I don't think he's going to stay like this forever because nobody is, because if he does, he's the best player in baseball. So to me, it's as simple as he needs to walk more, and once he does, he can move up in the lineup.
Well, the walking more will give him that consistency that you're looking for in terms of bringing his OPS to a point where I'm sure makes you want to raise him in the lineup, and he's not going to stay scorching hot forever. But while he is scorching hot, there's no doubt that he should be higher in this lineup. There's no way you can tell me the guy's above him. I don't know your exact lineup and what order it was, but Canna hasn't been hitting great. I mean, you had him in the 3-hole.
Yeah.
Like that, like, talk about maybe a misuse of timing is the use of Canna there and Colt in the 7 hole. I could easily argue that Canna deserves to be lower in the lineup. And even though, he does walk more, you still need people to hit in the people who do walk. And Colt Keith is your guy at doing that right now behind Riley Green.
That's fair, but this is where I just look at the game a little bit differently, because that's a valid point. Moving Colt Keith down in the lineup right now seems a little bit silly, but in the Flannel Sam philosophy of how you build a team and how you build a lineup, it's not so much about getting them on, getting them over, getting them in. It's about keeping the line moving as long as possible, whether it's with a walk, whether it's with a hit, no matter what it is, whether you get hit by a pitch, which oddly enough, Mark Canna does at a higher rate than you would think. Like, I don't know if it's a skill or not.
Used to getting beamed.
So what about this idea, Flannel?
Yeah.
You stagger the guys who get walked and the guys who get hits, and even if you do stagger them, you still don't have Colt Keith lower than the 6 hole. And the 6 hole is where when you go to 7, that's where you lose me. He's not a bottom 3 hitter on this team. No, there's no way you could argue that to me. You could bring up any stat you want. There's not a stat you could bring up that would convince me otherwise that Colt Keith is a bottom 3 hitter on this team. In my opinion, it should look like 2 guys who have high on-base percentages, high OPS guy, on-base percentage, 2 more on-base percentage guys, and another OPS guy. You could even throw the OPS guy, Colt Keith, hitting 4th or 3rd in front of Riley Green, but then that creates a kind of logjam of lefties, so I could see where you also probably wanted to alternate that. You don't want to put too many lefties in a spot to leave you open to getting both of them thrown at it against lefties, even though their splits don't necessarily drop that much against lefties.
Hey, another thing that you don't know about me, I don't care if they're lefties or righties. That's another thing about analytics and the Moneyball thing. Lefties, righties, it doesn't really mean a lot to me. But yes, I understand. You made some valid points, and the only way that we could ever really test this is if this actually does become the lineup moving forward. And I think Colt Keith will stay where you think he should. I don't think he's going to move to 7. But one thing I want to respond to before we get into what's trending, or I let you respond as well, because Shad, again, this is where I think you're just hating just to hate. He says walks just seem like a nitpick stat. Here's why.
One of the most important stats ever.
I would say nitpick.
Here's why you're wrong. Because laying off of pitches out of the strike zone that you can do nothing with is a skill. If you get pitches out of the strike zone, you need to take them. If there's a pitch at the, in the dirt, what are you going to do with that if you swing? You're probably going to miss, or at the very best, you're probably going to hit a weak ground ball. And by the way, all pitchers throw a lot of pitches out of the strike zone.
That's the goal.
It's just the way it is. It's the goal sometimes, as you know, Broder, and a lot of times pitchers make mistakes. You need people in your lineup who can lay off of them. Have you ever heard of Javi Baez?
Right.
What is the thing that he's most famous for? Swinging at terrible pitches and missing.
I was about to say, if he walked more, he would be one of the better players in the MLB.
So that's why to call walks a nitpick stat. And even Stick said something the other day when I was doing the show with Terry Foster a week and a day ago, that nobody comes up to the plate trying to walk. But you also, when you get bad pitches or pitches out of the strike zone, you have to take them. You can't force it. And sometimes I think that's been a problem with some developing hitters, both with the Tigers or other teams, where people try to force it and not just take what the pitcher gives them. That is a skill, and that is one of the reasons I'm so high on Riley Green. To kind of it all comes back to Riley Green, doesn't it?
But especially at the big league level, because that's where pitchers, when you talk about expanding the strike zone, they're trying to get you to swing and miss at pitches out of the strike zone. You set up those pitches out of the strike zone with strikes, with pitches in the strike zone to get ahead, to then later in the count get guys to chase or to make weak contact out of the zone. It's the reason Justin Henry Malloy is up in the bigs now. He still has some things to work out with his swing, but his plate presence, his ability to zone in on that strike zone and take pitches out of the strike zone, that's why he's a big leaguer right now.
Yes, and that is why Gio Urshela can go to me, because he doesn't walk. With a batting average like his on-base percentage should be at least 320.
Yeah.
Justin Henry,
100%.
Justin Henry Malloy's on-base percentage is higher than Gio Urshela's, and Justin Henry Malloy's batting average is nowhere close to Gio Urshela's. So if you don't walk, you can kindly leave. And Colt Keith, and it all goes back to Colt Keith, until you walk more, then you can move up in the lineup. And I understand I'm saying that at a terrible time because he's been the best player in baseball in July. But
it's philosophy. It's baseball.
Yes,
this is a long season, 162 games. Shoot, you made one comment that I agreed with. It just slipped my mind. I'm not going to waste any more time thinking about it because it's time for What's Trending with JB Smooth. JB, you want to hit this?
Let's do it.
Cook up.
Now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Bryan.
Oh my God, the full government.
Who's Jeremy?
Yeah, who the hell is Jeremy? Wow.
I forgot that was your name.
Man, KG.
What up, though?
I don't think they know, but mommy is back, and I think she's single.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Rafiki.
No, not Rafiki, but mommy is back, and she's single, so yee. But first off, man, I need help moving this Broder. Can you help me out a little bit?
This is it.
Yeah, this
is that clip of him pulling a trailer or whatever this is called.
Yeah, just back and forth in his backyard. Like, are we serious?
Yeah.
I don't know how much that weighs. It looks impressive, but he looks impressive. Like his body. He's got a nice looking body right now.
We're seeing him more than we ever saw him last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, he was a big dude. I mean, he is a big dude. He had that baby fat on him. He's looking lean.
Yeah, man. He had a stomach last year. Like, Easy would say his stomach would hang out of his jersey last year. And now he's this. So I need to see what he's going to do on the field. Do this to offensive linemen, and we're good.
It's the Lee McNeil effect.
Yeah. Yep. He's a 3rd round pick, man. We need to see something out of him this year.
Yeah.
Less pressure, maybe be the backup to DJ Reader.
Yeah.
I like that role for him.
Yeah.
As a young defensive tackle, I would dream that's my dream scenario in year 2.
Yep.
Backing up DJ Reader.
Mm-hmm. He's going to have to because Mekhi Wingo still has a little ways to go.
He might be playing some edge.
Exactly. He might be playing him on the edge too. So, yeah.
I love it, JB.
Hey, shout out to Broderick, man. He's out there putting in that work. But you guys want to run a play real quick?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's get this down. Lady James, Haktua, Lizzie, Broder on 1. Hey.
What are we doing here?
Yeet.
Oh! What? Are they playing football on a roof?
Yes.
That is wild.
Yeet.
What's under there?
I don't know what's under there, but hopefully it was a trampoline because he didn't bounce back.
That's a separated shoulder.
Yeah, he's definitely. There's no trampoline under there.
Does the video end where it ends?
Yes, it just ends right there.
Maybe it's a mattress or something down there, something for him to land on.
I thought maybe a pool, but it looks like there's a pool a little farther out.
Yeah, no, that's
more dumb people in this world.
Maybe it ends because it ends with multiple broken bones and him screaming.
Yeah,
that might be why it ends.
Like, no way he's just jumping off that
Justin,
roof. But once
you need
again,
to tell
these
these
are
people
white
no
people.
more drugs.
It's
why is it my job?
These are your people,
right? These are your people.
I didn't mean to throw you under the. I should have made an electric fort, like tied it away from the. But dude, they're on something.
No, it's just Gen Z.
No, I think this is just Gen Z stupidity.
But to say nobody in their 30s is doing this, so that's why we say, Justin, these are your people.
Well done, Sam. See, well said.
Yes.
JB,
well,
you got more dumb people to show?
I do have more dumb people to show. You guys want to get a free facelift?
No.
Yeah, I'm good.
Depends.
My face works just
So
fine.
is the outcome?
K. Adams thinks
not great.
Yes.
Oh no, Kyle.
Oh,
no.
Come on.
It gets worse.
Come on, bro. Come on, dog.
What?
JB, say it with me now. White people
shit.
Second video in a row. Just why?
God.
Why?
Bro, Jason Pierre-Paul blew off his hand.
Yeah, you didn't blow off his face though. Gee.
This is why
So the face is the white people shit?
Yeah, he did, but there's way more cases of white people doing shit like this than it is us. So
I'm not going to disagree with that. It's just so stupid.
Definitely not going
Drugs,
to
man,
disagree
they
with
kill
that.
you.
Don't do drugs.
I don't
kids.
even know if that's
Don't.
drugs.
I don't know if it's drugs. I don't really know what it is.
That's hillbilly
either.
stupidity.
That's just common
It
sense. It's lacking.
It is. Justin, sing this along with me because it's been a long time for this, but finally, it can rest.
Oh
Put him to bed.
I'm getting goosebumps right now as soon as I saw it.
Put him to bed. See you at the crossroads.
No, I like how they got the 21 gun salute in the background. Like,
you can finally rest.
I played one last game on Sunday before the game came out. NCAA 14, you did so many good things for me. You've gotten me through this harsh 10-year period of my life with no NCAA football games. Right. I've played you all every year since you have not come out in 2015. Thank you so much for your service. I salute you, brother.
R.I.P. Shoelace.
Yeah, Shoelace too. The GOAT. I met him at the Natty. He's a GOAT.
R.I.P. And finally, I'll end it with this, just to let you guys know, whenever you come over to my house, beer's in the fridge.
Oh, college, baby.
Hell no.
Man, I miss college.
No, G, I'm
That's
good
disgusting,
on
though.
That's crazy.
Beer's in the fridge, everybody.
Our college fridge is nasty, but like I'd throw a fit if I saw that shit in there. Yeah. Oh my god.
Having a trough of beer in your fridge is crazy, bro. And then you fucking up the strength of the beer. It's not gonna be strong once it's exposed to oxygen and shit.
It looks like urine.
And that's what I was about to say. It looks like a stadium trough.
Yeah, it looks like something Moises Alou would put on his hands.
What?
Only some people in the chat will get that. You probably have to be over 40.
You ruining the beer, man.
Moises Alou used to pee on his hands to prevent blisters. He didn't wear gloves.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not wear batting
gloves.
gloves.
And he sneezed out his back.
Gross.
Facts. That's gross.
That is gross. That is extremely gross, but that's it for what's trending, you guys. Let's hop in some mailbag.
We're going to take one more break.
Yeah, we can
Let's
do one more
break because he's going to read Randy Wise. We're going to come back and we're going to introduce Feldman.
Absolutely.
Wait, so tell him about Randy Wise.
How would you like to play the University of Michigan golf course with Braylon Edwards? It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Register today and you could round off our foursome at woodwardsports.com or scan the code on the screen right there.
Freaky ass flannel.
Hey, there was a guy yesterday that got to play in a foursome with Mr. Darren McCarty, and we interviewed him on Big D Energy, so that could be you someday. When it comes to your next car or truck, make the wise decision. Randy Wise Automotive.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true. And then get a house and a car in the same day. Why not?
Why not?
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. It's Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Ooh, boy. What up, dope people? We are back. This is the final segment of Wake Up Woodward. It's been a blast hosting with you, Flannel.
Yes.
And Miss Kool-Aid. This has been fun. I'm excited to talk to him tomorrow. KG, Justin, JB. We're ready for Mailbag, which is sponsored by Feldman Automotive Group. So get your questions in. Ask us anything. Sports related, music related, Black Card related, not Planet Fitness. Or Planet Fitness related, Black Card. You could do that, but you know where I was going with that.
Stop exposing our secrets.
Yeah, right. 2,500 locations worldwide. Get your questions in. Ask us anything. Let me start. Dante151, $9.99 super chat. Thank you, man. This isn't a question, but it's a comment. Yes, Flannel, you are right. If you can't walk, you can kindly leave. Unless you have a $96 million contract. Oops. But anyways, let's go all 4 Detroit teams, and let's hope they can make the playoffs.
Yeah,
Any
unfortunately.
response?
I mean, I would give anything to personally, put Javi Baez on a spaceship to the moon, but that's not going to happen. But yeah, that's why somebody that you can move like Gio Urshela, that's why I did the whole sell and then buy. The Tigers don't need him. He's had his moments, but they don't need him, and that's who you can flip for a top 100, and you can get Tommy Pham. That's a perfect offseason. Scott Harris, come on. Welcome to the show, right? Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Herb Nash mailbag for the crew. Who has the most to prove in the NFL this year? And he says Deshaun Watson comes to mind.
Most to prove?
Yeah.
In the NHL?
NFL.
Oh, at NFL.
Yeah.
That's tough.
He says Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson's up there.
Aaron Rodgers.
Kyler Murray's up there too for me.
Ooh, Kyler.
Murray's a good one.
Yeah.
Do you go rookie and say Caleb Williams?
Oh, Caleb definitely.
Jordan Love?
Yeah.
Derrick Henry?
Those are all
maybe
good
not
names.
Derrick Henry, but
Lamar Jackson. Does he have to prove
Yeah,
that
that's
he
who I was
can?
about to say. For me, it's Lamar. I'll stay on that Lamar hate all day, and he better do something in the playoffs this year, or the hate will continue.
Yep.
Dak Prescott.
It's a great
Oh, there you go. Dak Prescott. He might be on the way out in Dallas.
say his name correctly. Dakota Rain.
Right.
Dakota Rain. I think Pro Football Network needs to get it. Has a lot to prove this year.
That's
their
fair.
rankings below.
But hey, don't forget, Dak Prescott's the #1 QB in the NFC. Don't forget that.
Yeah, okay.
This is perfect transition. That's exactly why PFN needs to get it together. Did you have any name to throw out?
The reality is, if Deshaun Watson could ever regain some of his form from Houston, the Browns are a Super Bowl contender. So I think his potential bounce back could be most important for the league in terms of who could win the biggest. So I'll go with Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson it is. KG, JB, Big Dan Davis asks, and Justin, I'm throwing you in here. What do y'all think of Bo, Gable, and Wyatt Six segment on Raw last night?
I didn't get a chance to see Raw.
Didn't see it? Didn't you guys see it?
I did not get a chance to watch it. I usually watch it when I'm at the other job, so I can
I know you
fully
didn't
watch.
because you were playing hockey and you were playing college football on PlayStation. So I'll save this question, Big Dan Davis, in case they see a replay. But I know there's more in the chat. Brad Hendricks, mailbag. With Kool-Aid in Vegas, what is the best Vegas-based movie? There's a lot more good ones than you may think there are.
Hangover.
I would say
The Hangover is up
Yeah.
there. The original though. 'cause-
The original one.
Yeah. The other two was kind of out there, but
Well, the
yeah, that
second was in,
first
like,
one is
Malaysia
classic.
or some shit.
Thailand.
Yeah, Thailand.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go off the reservation. Probably is The Hangover, but there's a poker movie called 21.
I love that.
I was gonna
That's a
say
good
that
movie.
next
That's a
too.
good movie.
Yeah, that was a good one.
With the dude from House of Cards, Spacey.
Yeah, Spacey, and then I forget the younger lead's name, but that's a really solid movie. It gets me going too.
Yeah, there are good the Oceans movies. There's a lot of great Vegas movies. What?
The Flintstones, Viva Rock Baby.
Stones?
What? Why would you say? I'm just talking. I'm just
didn't
messing
hear you.
around. But yeah, the Flintstones did do a movie in Vegas.
I thought I was
remember
the only one that seen that movie too.
that. Nah, man.
Get him to the
childhood, man.
Dante151 mailbag. If EA Sports came out with a lacrosse game, would you play it?
No.
No.
Get him to the Greek, by the way. I heard that about Vegas. That's another slept on one. Get him to the Greek.
So
but yeah,
funny.
no lacrosse
So
game,
funny.
with all due
Jeffrey?
respect. Yeah.
We were talking about it last night, me and Dante.
That Diddy scene aged very well.
I'd try the lacrosse game. I think that'd be pretty fun.
Big Dan Davis. Oh, here we go. Big Dan Davis got another question. Mailbag. Is Trajan Langdon and the Pistons, are they done in free agency? Or is there another addition that you think they make, maybe via trade?
I think they're done.
You
Think they're done?
Yeah.
Anybody think they're not done?
I want to say no. But it's only a trade at this point. I don't think they're going to sign anybody in free agency. If they're going to take on maybe a bad contract, I think that's still in play. But besides that, no.
I'm with you there. What about this to follow up from Yashawn Judah, mailbag, with the signing of Paul Reed, the backup center from the 76ers. Yep. Do you think Isaiah Stewart will be traded, or do you think his days in Detroit are numbered because of the Paul Reed signing?
It's possible.
It's possible. I hope not, but it's possible.
What about this? Shad216JF, mailbag. I only said walks seemed like a nitpick stat. Not that it wasn't important. Also, who is more likely to get traded at the deadline? Beef Stew, Tim Hardaway Jr., or Malik Beasley?
I'll just respond to this second one.
Damn, that's tough. All three of those guys can be traded.
Who would a contender most want?
Beasley.
Yeah, Beasley.
I was going to say probably Beasley.
And it's got $6 million 1 year. That's a good contract.
Easy to fit. Doesn't most
41%
likely won't take your
from
team
three
over the
last
hard
year.
cap or anything.
That's, yeah, I'll go Beasley.
Beasley.
I got a question for you, Broder.
Is it from the chat?
Yeah.
Throw it at and shout him out.
At Chase Hamley, the boy.
The boy.
Without home field advantage being decided in the All-Star game for the World Series, how would you spice up the MLB All-Star game?
That's a great question. And I may have to revisit this tomorrow. How would I spice up the All-Star game?
Adding 10 months.
Pardon?
Adding 10 bunts.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a guarantee. No, actually, that's the one game there should be no bunts.
I agree.
Fans don't want to see them bunt in the All-Star game.
How about laced juice baseballs?
No, because I want it to be a regular. Like, that's what makes the MLB All-Star game special. It's a real baseball game.
Yep.
Like,
not anymore.
It is.
No, it is. Like, you have to play. They play 27 outs, although they might not go into extras.
Right.
They play 27 outs. Everyone goes to their position. Even Marcus Semien gets to play second base because we have to vote. That's a segment we might have to revisit. I don't know. I like that they've done the mic'd ups, like while they're playing.
Dope. I just don't. It really takes the draw away from me a little bit when they're not playing for home field advantage in the World Series. It's so fun and it makes like the players care so much more.
Yeah.
Like it's like it's nice. The vibes are good. The jokes are flying now, but back in the day, it was all serious and all business. Like teams who are on contending teams were like, we got to win this game.
Yeah.
Like if we're going to be in the World Series, we want to have 4 games at home.
Yeah.
And it's just not like that anymore.
I think historically, baseball players have, regardless, have taken it more seriously. You know, it's not like a Harlem Globetrotters game. Like, there's something about baseball players being on the same field with your peers and like you want to prove you're the best, so you play hard anyway.
Oh yeah.
You only get a couple at bats or an inning or two to pitch. All right, one last question. Let me know if you guys see one. Otherwise, I'm gonna pick this one from Nick Hedigan. Mailbag. Outside the obvious, basketball and such, which Olympic event, if any, are you looking forward to? Great question. You guys interested in any other Olympic events besides the main ones? Basketball. I'm going to throw hockey into that mix.
Thank you. I was about to say.
They do hockey in the summer.
No, in the winter.
Okay, then.
But it is an
forget
elite
me.
winter sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other events? Ping pong? Table tennis?
Summer's tough. I'm do a lot of winter events
yeah.
when the winter one comes around.
But, okay, then let's include winter and summer.
Okay.
Yeah. Just not
I'll watch
hockey.
the snowboarding. I'll watch the skiing. In the summer, I'll watch the swimming. I watched it when Michael Phelps was in it. I haven't watched it
A doppelganger,
since,
people
though.
say?
And then I'm going to watch all the events they add to the 2026 or 2028 Olympics in LA. All the summer sports. They're adding they're adding baseball back, they're adding softball back, they're adding a couple more very intriguing esports as well. There are a bunch of very cool things they're adding for the 2028 Summer Olympics in LA. So I'm definitely going to be way more tapped into that Olympics than I will be for this one.
Esports in the Olympics. Good God.
The fact that baseball isn't an Olympic
Chill on the
sport.
gamers.
No,
man.
honestly,
Flannel, don't be getting into an argument with me right now to end the show about esports. Just pipe down over there. NCAA latest came out. Just take
fine.
the L on this one and pipe down.
It's not an L, it's a differences of opinion. But you know what? Maybe if it's popular, you could say it's an L. I guess if there was one thing, I kind of would like to see Noah Lyles fall on his face. Somebody like that.
You got against Noah Lyles.
That's what he's looking forward to in the Olympics.
Such an instigator.
He's a cornball. He's such a cornball.
But hey, if he didn't say shit about the men's basketball, we wouldn't be getting the second iteration of the Redeem team. So
Champions of the world? What? How can you say you won the NBA Finals and call yourself the champion of the world?
I don't know.
That's literally what he sounds like. Go back and watch.
Wait. Get a one shot. I want to see that impression again. Put that camera on, Flannel.
Yes, please.
Wait, what did it sound like?
How can you, when you say you won the NBA Finals, you're champion of the world? What? How can you say, you're not champion of the world? You're just champion. I respect him as a champion because they won the NBA Finals, but champion of the world? Go back and watch. That is literally what he sounds like. Noah Lyles, lose. Trip and fall. Don't hurt yourself, but trip and fall. That's fine. Come off the blocks and maybe stumble. Don't hurt yourself, but don't win gold. Maybe that's anti-American.
Wow.
But.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Oh, jeez. That's where we're going to end.
Counter-terrorist Flannel.
Yeah. Although I will say, what you want about me.
Here.
I'm interested in the figure skating. Like growing up, I always liked watching like the pairs ice dancing.
And
like
Michelle Kwan
the
fan?
Tara Lipinski, the Michelle Kwans.
I'll watch the
because I can't skate
duos.
very well. So there's something like I can't do that. How are they spinning like and looking elegant? And I've got some friends
How
who
are they
competed.
spinning and looking
Detroit,
elegant?
Novi, Canton, and Bloomfield Hills. and some Troy. It's a hotbed for
It is.
international figure skaters.
It is a huge hotbed, especially Canton.
Yes, Charlie White, Merrill Davis. Merrill has a different last name now. I apologize.
There you go. Pull that out your bag, Broder.
This is a spot. Go
Right.
blue. They're all Michigan Wolverines.
Did somebody say
people,
Canton?
though. What?
Did somebody say Canton?
Uh-oh.
My name is Lizzie. I'm from Canton.
Shout out Lizzie. Right into the show if you single.
That's it. That's it. That's for the show. Chat, honestly, thank you so much for being here. If you could hit the like button on your way out, I would really, really appreciate that. Let's show some love to our sound booth. Today we had KG in there. KG, you the man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Great show. Love the crew.
Yes, sir. We got Justin in the Maz here. Justin, thanks for helping with everything. Graphics, everything you do. Much love.
Thank you.
You bet.
Go
JB
Blue.
in the TD booth. We're so lucky to have you. Great show. Thanks for helping us all out today.
No problem. Not a problem. Love doing it with you guys.
In the TD booth.
Pause.
In the TD booth. We got Kool-Aid in Vegas. Not here today. We'll be remote again tomorrow in the second half of the show, talking Vegas Summer League. He is our third co-host, Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid. And next to me today, this has been a fun one. Sam Flannel Sam.
Yes.
I'm just going to say them both every time I introduce you. It was an awesome show hosting with you. I had a blast.
I had a blast. And Scott Harris, welcome to the show, right?
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. My name's Matt Broder. This was Wake Up Woodward. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Let's go.